Hello, good afternoon. I am thrilled to come to you live today. I have a very special announcement, and I wanted to just kind of share it with you in real time, even before it's ready and officially launched and announced. So who am I? If you are new to my page, welcome. My name is Stacy Mayer. I am an executive coach, promotion strategist, and best-selling author of Promotions Made Easy, a step-by-step guide to the executive suite. And for the past decade, I have helped women navigate that transition into higher levels of executive leadership and all of the communication, politics, and baggage that comes along with it. Today, I'm coming to you with a special announcement because I want to be a little bit vulnerable and share with you part of my process, and then also kind of get you pumped up for what is next in my world and figure out different ways that I can support you. I also would love for this to be an interactive conversation. If you're here with us live, definitely say, hey, put something in the comments, let us know where you are. And, note to self, if you do that, other people can find your profile. So this is always a great best practice to actually say something if you're going to spend the time to attend these things live. So if you're also watching the replay, that's great too. You can still say, hey, how are you? Great to see you, Stacy. Way to go. Whatever might be of interest to you. So what's going on for me is over the past honestly, I think it's been like 6 months because we're at the end of May, and I'd say this all started back in November where I just felt like disappearing. And this might be a bit of an overshare for LinkedIn audience, but I don't really care about that stuff. It's in Buddhism, they call it the cocoon. And it's this place that we go when we feel like we're not sure what's going to happen next. And one of my favorite things when I was studying Buddhism and meditation on a regular basis, I loved that concept of the cocoon because it gave us permission to hide and to kind of go away and to separate when society doesn't really welcome that. And I have to admit, over the past 5 or 6 months, I've had some existential crisis, wondering like, why am I hiding? Why do I feel like I'm in this cocoon? Okay, the Buddha says that it's a process. Give yourself time, give yourself space. But essentially, what was happening for me is because there's so much disruption in the world today. There is so much happening. There's so much noise. We are definitely in the AI era. The world is transitioning. The corporate landscape is transitioning. I live in Silicon Valley. You can't like walk out your door without seeing a layoff. And so it's just incredibly devastating. And then I have this, and that doesn't even like touch on all the insanity in the world. So anyway, I just want to acknowledge that it's not just my little Silicon Valley bubble that's devastating right now. But I am here, and this is where I live. And so you walk out your door, you hear from people, that they're laid off, that they've been laid off for a year and a half, couple of years, that, 10,000 of their closest friends just got laid off yesterday, like whatever that might be. That's kind of the news. That's the word on the street. But then you have the women that I work with, and my clients are incredible. And their world and my world within my universe of coaching clients is quite different. And the experience that we're having is so uniquely different to us, but not necessarily uniquely different to them in their workplace. Like it's kind of what's happening around them. And let me just give you some examples to what I mean. And again, please say, hey, if you're here, I'm going to open up. I didn't even have my chat open. So make sure that you give me a shout out if you're watching. The world that we're in inside of my leadership table mastermind, and this is a secret society of women leaders where we meet twice per month, and we draw oracle cards. We talk about the state of the world. We celebrate our wins, and we challenge each other to do better. And by doing better, What I mean is showing up as our authentically powerful self, both at work or perhaps at home, or in the interview process if we're part of a massive layoff. And the vibe is that the women in this group, whether they are unemployed or currently sitting in the executive suite, is this calm, right? This calm inside the storm. And this is not unique to these women. It's actually something that I see in a lot of women, is that when shit hits the fan, they come to life, right? And I think, and I can see, and I know that this is an opportunity for women to leverage this unique power that we have as women to step into a higher level version of ourselves that already exists. And so let me give you some of the examples of, when somebody announces in the group that they were laid off last week. There's obviously consideration and like, oh, I'm sorry. And then there's sort of like, cool. All right. It's a new opportunity. There's something next for you. Let's go. Right. And that something next for a lot of these women has been consulting and having to offer their services in a different way. For one woman, it's writing a book. For another woman, it is navigating a cancer diagnosis. For another woman, it's deciding to buy a house even after she's recently been laid off, right? And all of these opportunities are available to them because of their authentic power, because this is the person that who they are as a leader, right? And then on the other side of the coin, I have so many women inside the Leadership Table Mastermind who are sitting in the seats of executive leadership, and they're hiring and they're having difficulty navigating the corporate structure simply because so much is happening at their organization. So many conversations are being had, so much travel is being had, so many opportunities are being thrown at them, and they're navigating that with this cool, calm, collected power as well. And I think it's important to share their process, their stories, how they're doing this, because it's really easy to walk out your door and to get caught up in the nonsense of the real world events that are happening, right? Like, it is devastating what's happening in the world. And yet, so many leaders are able to not only thrive during this time, but to be a part of that change. And as I'm beginning to come out of this cocoon, actually, I already broke out of it. I wanted to share with you some of the changes that I'm experiencing in my own practice, in my own leadership, and how I am beginning to teach my executive promotion process a little bit differently, right? Like, to really unpack what it means to be an authentically powerful leader, to sit in that space when chaos and changes ensue. To be able to be that calm in the storm requires an immense amount of power, and also grace and understanding, and the ability to pivot. And it's so exciting, and it's such a wonderful, incredible opportunity in our world. And we all know that opportunities come in during times of chaos. And so this is a chance to disappear in the negative way, or it's an opportunity for you to begin to unfold and to shine and to step into your true authentic power, like right now. And the world is supporting you to do that. And some of the ways that I've been thinking about, like, why is this possible, especially in the AI era, and putting this into a brand new podcast. So I have recorded my first 2 episodes. They are live. You can find them. I think the best way right now is to go to staceymayer.com/YouTube. I'm going to put that in the chat here. That's the easiest way. I'm going to be officially launching this podcast on a Substack. I love the platform. I'm getting tired of email and bombarded with bots. So I think that Substack is a fantastic platform for me to release a private channel. So this could be an exclusive way, a way that you can go directly to that app and access all of my podcasts, all of my thought leadership, all of my live video trainings, things like that on side of this. And so I'm going to be launching that later next week. So definitely make sure that you're following me. Make sure you are on my email list. I mean, let's face it, that's the only way I'm going to be able to get this information so that you can transition or be on both, right? So that you can always hear about what's going on in my world and how I'm thinking about AI, how I'm thinking about executive leadership, and how the real world is navigating these big challenges. And if you're feeling compelled to do something different, to step into that higher level of leadership, to use this huge forceful energy to go into your next level self, you're definitely going to want to check out executive coaching in the AI era with Stacey Mayer. Again, official launch next week. You can find some of my episodes on staceymayer.com/YouTube today. I'll be sharing more next week when that launch officially comes out. So you'll have everything you need. You can also sign up for my email at staceymayer.com/email. And if you're really interested in getting to work and actually using this transition time to really make that big pivot and to step into higher levels of leadership, or perhaps you are on the unemployed side and you want to make sure that you are using every single opportunity to create a different pathway for yourself, then I encourage you to go to staceymayer.com/discovery and schedule a free call with me. Definitely follow me here on LinkedIn as well. These are all different opportunities for us to collectively change the leadership table. So I wanted to kind of share with you part of my process, what's been happening for me as I start to emerge from the cocoon. And I want to challenge you as you go into this next week or this week to really think about, what is it that you've always done well as a leader? And how can you begin to start communicating that? This is one of the reasons that the women that I work with are so authentically powerful, is because they understand their value and they can communicate their value as a leader versus a subject matter expert. And, you know, your entire career has been built on your expertise, and maybe only a teeny tiny portion has been built on your leadership style. And so I help you articulate that. So this week, I want you to start jotting down notes. Definitely direct message me if you come up with any ideas. And I encourage you to hop on a call with me at staceymayer.com/discovery. And we can talk about how we can begin to navigate this AI era together. Thank you all so much for listening. And I'm thankful to be on this journey with you. Bye.